I love calling them out before they have a chance to know what's going to go on. So girls, we're going to face the flag, and all you need to do is when you're ready, you're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? Anytime you're ready. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, girls. Let's hear it for them. Colleagues, I'm going to make a change on the agenda. If you look at your council agenda under H2, adopt a resolution confirming my appointment to the Community Development Advisory Committee. Mr. Miguel is in the audience tonight, and what I'd like to do is after the consent calendar, we're going to call up that item so Mr. Aguiar does not have to wait through the entire agenda. So please make note of that. We have a number of presentations tonight, folks, and again, thank you for your patience tonight, but this is really what Newark is all about. We recognize our heroes in our organizational city. We recognize that devote their time for volunteer service in our community, and this is really what the city is all about. And it's going to take a few minutes to get through each one of these, but they're all extremely important. So I thank you for your patience. The first proclamation will be September as the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And if I could have Angela Crawford join me at the podium, please. Nice to see you. Did you notice Angela waves her hand like a politician, you know? She's ready to go out there and start knocking on some doors. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to declare this month Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And this is something we've done now for the past number of years. Many of us have had family members, unfortunately children, touched by that dreadful disease. And it's by recognizing this, it puts us in the mindset that, we can help with our donations to an eventual cure for cancer that afflicts the most vulnerable in our community. So my colleagues and I have declared this month Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to issue this proclamation, number 1947, whereas according to the American Childhood Cancer Organization, childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease for children in the United States, and 1 of every 6 children are not expected to live past the age of 5. Whereas the American Cancer Society estimates that approximately 9,550 children in the United States under 15 years of age will be diagnosed with cancer in 2025. Whereas most children cannot be treated at a local hospital, and families must face the disruption of relocating to receive treatment at a regional cancer center, whereas pediatric cancer research receives only 4% of all federal funding for cancer research, a fact that demonstrates why awareness and fundraising participation is so important. Whereas due to children's bodies still growing and cancer treatments largely geared towards use on adults, children are more likely to experience long-term side effects from treatment. Whereas childhood cancer treatment is handled by a team of pediatric oncologists and surgeons, radiation oncologists, pediatric oncology nurses, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants. Real heroes, oh, by the way, in our community. Those are real heroes. Where some of the most important members of pediatric cancer patients' team are experienced parents who navigate and advocate on behalf of their children. Whereas as a result of major treatment advances in recent decades, more than 85% of children with cancer now survive 5 years or more. And this really hits home for me, folks, personally. I had a nephew and a niece that were both impacted by cancer from birth. Both are now well within their 20s. So those are 2 of the successes, and we pray every day that they'll continue to be in remission. Therefore, the City Council encourage everyone to join the fight against childhood cancer and to participate in activities and events that promote awareness of childhood cancer and support families affected by the devastating disease, not just during September, but throughout the year. And again, For those of you that are not aware of it, the Newark Rotary Club and Newark Optimist Club partnered for Relay for Life, where those two organizations raised over $6,000 and a total of $100,000 to help combat cancer. So it's an important issue in our city. We remain steadfast in our efforts, and it's with great pleasure that I want to recognize you and the work that you do to help us battle this deadly disease day in and day out. So I present this proclamation.
Hi, everybody. I'm Angela. I'm from the Jammer Strong Foundation, which is a local nonprofit from right here in Newark. It's named after my nephew, Jameson, who was diagnosed at 3 years old. He's now 8, so we are very happy about that. He's had stable scans for the last several years. However, there is no cure for the type of cancer he has, so we take every day as it comes, and we celebrate all of them. But that also means that we are well aware of what the cancer community needs, and so we started our foundation named after him. And so for those of you who don't know, the childhood cancer ribbon is gold, so you'll see lots of things that say "Go Gold in September." So anywhere you see that, that's what that's about. Speaking of which, if I could have Mr. Mayor over here, and if a representative from the police department would like to come up here, and if there's anybody from the fire department, that would be great too. On behalf of the...
Here comes our chief.
Wonderful.
And here comes one of Newark's finest firefighters.
Thank you for joining me up here. On behalf of the Jammer Strong Foundation, we'd like to present you with gold ribbons to wear on your uniforms for the month of September and forever after if you so choose. These are for you and your council members, police and fire.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And one more quick thing, if any of you are not busy on Sunday, we have partnered with the Oakland Civic Orchestra, who's going to be doing Concert for a Cure on behalf of the Jammer Strong Foundation. All money raised will be going to the Lucille Packard Foundation and Stanford Medicine for childhood cancer research. So you can get tickets on our website, www.jammerstrong.com.
Excellent. I'm going to ask Planning Commissioner Mr. Jeff Aguiar to join me at the podium. One thing about the city of Newark, we are a community of winners. We are an absolute community of winners. And it is so pleasurable to recognize winners within our community. And it doesn't matter to me what age they are. We've recognized high school basketball players, anybody that is a winner in our city organization, whether it be academically, because we've recognized academic success. Physically, we're always happy to recognize champions because it's our recognition as a community that inspires them to continue doing their best moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and read this commendation, then I'm going to ask my good friend, Mr. Aguiar, to go ahead and call his team up one by one so that we can present them with their own personal certificate. So this commendation goes to the Crush Football Girls Team, the 2025 Under-10 U.S. Football, did I pronounce that correctly? Futsal, okay. Northwest Regional Champions.
Whoa!
And the 2025 Under-10 Girls U.S. Football National Champions finalists. Whereas the Crush Girls team won the U.S. Northwest Regional Championship in March of 2025 and went on to compete in the U.S. National Championship, where they earned second place and finished as national championship finalists, whereas this marks the first ever regional championship title and national championship finalist finish for a team representing Newark, California.
Yay!
Whereas the Crush girls coach, Mr. Aguiar, and Adrian, is Adrian here, Barrasso? Adrian, come on up. have worked side by side to teach, challenge, inspire these athletes, not only to develop into technically skilled and creative players, but also to grow into respectable leaders, hardworking and confident players, and excellent teammates who make a positive impact on and off the court. Now, therefore, I, Michael Hannon, the mayor of Newark, on behalf of my Newark City Council, are going to recognize these outstanding players for their exciting achievement. And I'm going to go ahead and first of all present this certificate to Mr. Aguiar. And to Mr. Barrasso. And now I'm going to ask the coach if he'd be kind enough to call the team up one by one, and I will award them their individual certificates.
Alessandra Aguilar.
Analicia Barroso.
I love these girls' uniforms. They're rolled up. They're ready to play. Coach, do we have a game after this? Are we going to go play? They're ready to play.
Esmeralda Correas.
Nora Peters.
Taylor Salinas.
Madison Santurnio.
And Natalie Silva.
Mr. Aguiar.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief here, but I could talk for a very long time about how proud we are of this incredible group of girls. We started this team 2 years ago, almost exactly to the date, and right out of the gate, they had success. That's not to say there weren't tough losses along the way. Last year at the national championships, we went 1-2, bounced out early. This year, we came back with a vengeance, but what was really neat about it is these girls, after last summer, immediately wanted to practice, immediately wanted to get better. It's not uncommon for us to compete in a match and have a parent, the opposing coach, oftentimes a referee come up to me and Coach Adrian here and say, wow, that is an incredible group of girls you have, whether it's their desire to compete, the tenacity, but more than anything, and I think this is their secret sauce, it's their chemistry. The way they support one another and compete for one another is truly what separates them. So very proud and honored to be up here and have them have the opportunity to be awarded tonight. Excellent job, girls. And then
Picture of the council. Coach, come on down. Let's get a picture with the team. Let's do it in front, girls. You're in the front. Coach will be behind you. And we'll be the city council. Entire council's coming down. So girls, move over here. City manager.
Council.
Good to see you.
I have a question. Can they flex?
Yeah, let's do it, girls. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. And I did want to thank Mayor Hannon and the City Council for having us here tonight. Thank you very much.
You know, Planning Commissioner Aguiar, he's a humble guy. And when we walked in from the parking lot, saw a couple tears in his eyes. And he said, Mayor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I expected to bring champions back to the city of Newark. We were only able to take second place. And I said to Mr. Aguiar, I said, these girls are champions because of you and Adrian and your participation and your involvement in their lives. Second place, in our eyes, are winners. And I say to them, I look forward to next year when they're standing before us with that first place trophy. Let's hear it for them. I love this next proclamation. I love this. This may be my most favorite and enjoyable proclamation. I'm going to ask Lori to come up and join me here, please, with the Newark Days Committee. Let's hear it for Lori. Woo! Bring up the team. All right, those of you that are paying attention, I'll look for the first show of hands, not talking to city staff. How many years old will the city of Newark be this September 19th through 22? How old are we as a city? 7. Oh, you are so brilliant. You are brilliant.
They saw the shirt.
Cheaters?
It's a cheat sheet.
Before I read the proclamation, and Lori, I hope you don't mind, I'm always saddened by this day in one respect, because it was one of our council colleagues, Shirley Sisk, that was really instrumental in suggesting, we need to identify the city of Newark and the importance to the community by celebrating its birth date. And, she's still with us, but she's not as well as she has been in the past. But I remember when she'd come to this council meeting for Newark Days, Mayor Nagy would introduce her, and then Mayor Nagy would just step aside. Because Shirley was going to say what Shirley was going to say, and Shirley was not going to be bound by any kind of time limit. But again, a really good soul in our community. And, as we think about those that are important to us, whether they be family or friends, let's keep people like a Shirley Sisk in our heart and hope that she and her family are doing well as they deal with the struggles that she's dealing with medically. So a big thanks to Shirley Sisk and her family. Who have always been great advocates for our community. So it's with great pride that I declare Proclamation 1946, whereas the Newark Days Committee annually celebrates the birth date of our city during the month of September, whereas this is a time to celebrate the community of Newark in all its aspects, whereas this is a time when Newark residents are encouraged to explore our rich heritage and a time to recognize the multicultural contributions a divergent people who have come together to create a common sense of community. Whereas this is also a time when we encourage Newark residents to pause and reflect on the values that we represent as a community so succinctly stated in our Newark Day celebration: people, pride, and progress. Now, therefore, I, Michael Hannon, on behalf of my colleagues on the Newark City Council, declare September the 18th through the 21st as Newark Days in the city of Newark. And I present this proclamation to the Newark Days Committee. And oh, by the way, you know how much they're paid? For the hours and hours and hours and hours of work they do to make sure that this is a success, an event that seems to grow every year in terms of community participation. Now, those of you that are thinking, oh gosh, it's got to be $50,000, $75,000 per person, you're a little bit high. These folks are volunteers. That's what makes Newark such a great community. People are willing to stand up and say, how can I participate? How can I make my community better? Because they volunteer. And there's not enough thanks that we can give these volunteers to really demonstrate our appreciation, but we try to do so in a small way by issuing this proclamation every year. And we're really proud of this committee, proud of the work that they do, and recognize that this will be another incredible success for our city. So it's great pride that I present this proclamation to you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Just a fun fact. Do you know who else has a 70th birthday this year? Disneyland. I think that is super that we share the same birthday as Disneyland. So it's kind of funny because I just saw that, and my daughter's in Disneyland right now, so she was showing me, and I was, oh my God, I forgot about that. Newark Days, it's celebrating the 70s this year. So if all of you, which I see a lot of you about my age, we all grew up in the 70s, and we love the disco. So there will be some disco dancing lessons for the kids this year. We also will be having the music from Prince. There's lots of good music, Prince, Santana. We have all kinds of things going on. The food booths, we have like over 30 food booths. We have over 60 arts and crafts booths. The info fair has grown immensely, and that's got probably about 50 booths for that. We have 2 new things that's going to happen this year. We are going to have monster truck rides. Wow. And so that will be a new event this year, as well as a hot air balloon. Now, the monster truck rides will cost $10 a ride. The hot air balloon will be free. And that will only be Sunday morning, and I've been instructed to say, weather permitted, because the hot air balloon cannot go up if the weather's bad. So he will be there bright and early Sunday morning, and the rides will start at about 8 o'clock, and they are free. That is a free ride, but that is Sunday morning only, okay? We also have a wonderful parade. Our committee here, Ramona, she's so good. She does such a great job. She's dressed up. She's our hippie. And she also has worked very hard on the parade. So she's going to talk a little bit about the parade.
Okay, I have to have notes because I am also 70.
Yeah, I forgot.
I am.
Same.
So I share the birthday too. So our theme is celebrating the 70s, and we have a great theme, and we just all love this. So everything we've done there, and my signpost, take a look at the signpost when you get there, because it's all 70s, and to me, it was hippies, because I'm a little bit older than some. So, but everything we do is influenced by Shirley. It's like, you know, I grew up with Newark Days and worked as just walking the parade when I first moved here, and then started working, and just the influence is always there. Think, you know, what would Shirley do in this? Our Grand Marshal this year, Susie Colazzo. So she'll be riding with her grandson in the parade. And in the parade, oh my gosh, we've got 8 bands coming. This is the most we've had. And I don't know where we're going to put them all, but it's going to be great. 5 high school bands, 2 middle school bands, and 1 Scottish bagpipes. The Tri-City Band Corps is sending that, as well as their other bands. So this is going to be neat. I don't have a lot of information on that, but looking forward to it. 20 to 30 horses, they always say, maybe 100, who knows, but they come from the Central Valley, and we put in as many as we can get out there, but they have a great time, and they love coming, and we love having them too. Also, just a key in, we have like 11 sponsors who send us money to do this parade, and we appreciate the sponsors. I know I don't have time to go on everybody, but you know, we appreciate it. And then we got 8 in-kind sponsors who give us like coffee, Starbucks, and O'Sullivan's lets us use their paddy wagon for our shuttles. So we got a lot of people in the community that help, and we really appreciate that. We'll have Volunteer of the Year. We've got Assemblymember Alex Lee will be coming in the parade. Alameda County Supervisor Elissa Marquez. And we've got a lot of luminaries from Washington Health, board members, Ohlone President Charles Sasaki, and Trustee President Eliza Martinez. The mayor of Milpitas will be in our parade, Carmen Montano. And my understanding is she's the first female mayor in Milpitas. So Really good. We're looking forward to it. And she told me herself, she's known as a singing mayor.
Oh, you gonna sing?
She offered to sing, but I just didn't know where to have her sing. So you might see her walking around singing, who knows?
It's okay.
Yeah, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, U.S. Army, they're all there. A lot of dancing groups, walkers. I tell you what, last year was big because it was
The political.
the political and everything. And I don't know where they're coming this year, but it's almost as big as last year, so it's crazy. All of our school board members and superintendent's gonna be there. The Chamber of Commerce and, oh yeah, the Chamber of Commerce, we haven't seen them in our parade in years, and so it's so great to have them back in our community too. Really great. Newark, the council, the float, Lori is putting together a wonderful float. I can't wait to see it. City of Newark always comes up with a fantastic float. And it's in our theme, which is great. It's always in there. They're grooving to the 70s is their theme. Okay, let's see. Fire Department Engine 28 is going to be there. The monster trucks are actually going to be in the parade too before they give the ride. So everybody will have a chance to see them coming down. And one is 11 foot tall. The wheels are about as high as I am. It's crazy.
They're legal, street legal.
Yeah, kind of. But anyway, I think it's going to be a really good parade. I've been busy putting that together. And I still got probably a few more coming, and it's going to be a busy weekend. But I'm looking forward to seeing all of you out there, and have a great time. Thank you.
We also have other people that are here, would be Jane. Jane is info booth and several other things. Everybody,
We'll be selling
those beautiful shirts.
Beautiful shirts, so
and
stop
then,
by.
and then Nick, who does the BMX riding with the little kids, the little ones, he makes a track.
There's
and
so many fun things.
We
to
have
come.
such a great time.
You need to come with your families. It's really a great event.
Yes.
And don't forget, $2 Thursday night on the
Yeah,
rides
$2
on
Thursday
the
night.
Carnival.
Yes.
Now, we've got some special
We have
tips
some special stuff.
for the city council here. Let me see what we got. Tip here. This is for you.
You guys have to put them on.
Here, mine. This is for you.
Just kind of to get you in the theme of things here. Get you in the mood.
That's for sure. What else did you get?
Come on, show me. Yeah.
Oh.
Got some pretty glasses and a piece.
Lori tells me that these are prescription glasses, so that's all that's to me.
You rock the headband first.
Lori, this isn't a belly button ring, right?
It could be, it could be.
I'll have these scissors.
Oh, I like the earrings are
That was
good.
an in back
Yeah,
there, not
good.
belly button.
Okay, good.
Perfect, perfect.
Perfect.
Wear that well.
Too well. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate it. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I don't want to break this one.
Did you break them?
No.
Not yet.
I'll just go get it. I'll go get it.
They're childproof.
All right. Now, with all seriousness, big thanks to this group. Big thanks. Can we get a photo? Colleagues, I'm sorry, come down once again. You guys stand in the front here. By the way, this is a public address announcement. Again, these are volunteers, Okay, these are volunteers. If you have some time in your busy schedules and you'd like to volunteer, please give any one of these folks a call. And let them know, whether it be an hour, 2 hours, whatever the case may be, any help is appreciated, right, Maureen? Any help is appreciated.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stand over here.
It keeps going on.
I'll forget it.
I'll send you one.
Okay, so
Do you want to do peace signs? Yeah.
Oh, thank you, guys. So I'm going to dispel the rumor. It seems to me that the mayor will do anything to get reelected. That's not true. That's not true. The fact that I wore the headband was simply to get into the mood for the moment. The last proclamation, commendation that we're going to issue is to Miss Eda Rivera. Miss Rivera? Great to see you. Again, as I was walking in from the parking lot with Eda, she indicated to me, this is kind of bittersweet, Mayor. It's here to celebrate my retirement after many, many years of service to the city. Maybe I need to stick around for a little bit longer. So we started to negotiate, how much longer Eda would like to continue working for the city. And at that moment, her sister came up and said, "Stay away from him. Stay away from him." No, we recognize our city employees here at council meetings, our new employees, but we also recognize those that have served our community faithfully, professionally, and with great dedication. And I would use all of those descriptors to describe Ms. Rivera. So we're issuing this commendation to Ms. Rivera, Eda Rivera. Whereas Eda Rivera began her career in the city of Newark, now, it's not a misprint. It's not a misprint. In 1984. So those of you who have done the math, that's over 40 years. I know what some of you folks are thinking. Gosh, looking at Eda, she must have started when she was like 7.
I did.
As a part-time clerical trainee in the Department, Development Services and Building Inspections Division, whereas Eda Rivera held the position of Office Clerk, Office Assistant 2, Administrative Support Specialist 2, and her current position of Administrative Assistant in Development Services and Building Inspections, Personnel, Police, Fire, and Recreation. Is that all you do?
Yeah, pretty much every department.
Whereas Eda Rivera joined the Recreation and Community Service Department in 2010 and contributed to a variety of important community programs, marketing efforts, and special events. Whereas Eda Rivera in 2020 was instrumental in COVID-19 outreach, going door to door to various parts of the city, delivering brochures, masks, COVID-19 items, and helping our Hispanic, Latino community with scheduling COVID-19 tests and vaccinations. Whereas Eda Rivera led the Promotores program through the COVID-19 pandemic and was instrumental in managing the First 5 grant. Was Eda Rivera in 2010 received the Employee of the Year award for her loyalty, commitment, and upbeat attitude. Whereas Eda Rivera, following a distinguished career with the city of Newark, is retiring after 41 years of excellent service and commitment to the Newark community. And there's one caveat that's missing from here because I participated. Eda Rivera was instrumental in getting out to the community during the 2020 census, as you remember, to make sure that we visited all of our communities where folks maybe felt a little bit of trepidation about wanting to be counted because they were fearful that the government, knowing that maybe I'm not a documented citizen, might not want to participate. But with Eda's help, as we advise these community members that you are residents of our city, we are here to serve you. We are a welcoming community. We're not concerned with your immigration status because when you call 911, you want somebody to respond. So the city of Newark achieved one of the highest percentages of participation in the 2020 census as a result of Eda Rivera. So let me hear you thank you for that. So now, therefore, I, Michael Hanna, on behalf of my colleagues on the City Council, commend Eda Rivera for her dedication to the City of Newark and wish her very best in all future endeavors. And just a side note, Eda's been so kind to me the last few mariachi festivals because I'm not bilingual. And I asked Eda, would you kindly put together a few sentences for me or translate a few sentences for me so I can speak to my community in their language? And she has always done so faithfully. And I greatly appreciate that. That just simply shows you she's a dedicated public service. She demonstrated that for 41 years. Anyone that knows Eda Rivera will have nothing but nice things to say about her because that's the type of person that she is. So congratulations on your retirement. She's retiring, but she's like our former Mayor Al Nagy and former Vice Mayor Susie Collazo. They don't go away. We're going to see Eda participating in all sorts of activities all over the city of Newark. She'll just be doing it for free. So we thank you for that. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members, executive team, and city staff. I do have a few words here. I never imagined that after graduating from high school, I will embark on such an incredible journey with the city of Newark. After 41 years of public service, September marks my retirement. I am deeply grateful for the opportunity to work alongside so many wonderful people and organizations throughout the years. I am proud of the impact I've made, and I hope my work has inspired others to pursue their passions and reach their potential, just as my career in public service inspired me. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who supported me during these 41 years, especially my family, friends, mentors, colleagues, and teammates. Many of you are no longer here, and many became like family to me. You have been my source of motivation and joy along this journey. I also truly appreciate the support from the City of Newark's leadership. As I say goodbye to my professional career, I look forward to spending more time with family, exploring new opportunities, and continuing to serve the community I love, the promotoras and the City of Newark. While giving back in meaningful ways, I am excited for what the future holds and hope to stay connected with all of you. To my Newark colleagues, past and present, thank you. Being part of this incredible chapter of my life, the memories I have shared will always stay in my heart. No es un adiós, sino un hasta luego. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next item is the presentation by the Alameda County Water District, but I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Oh, my bad. Okay. I thought if I took a break, we'd find out if they're going to stick around. Do they really want to stay with the city of Newark? This would have been their last opportunity. So I'm going to start off by introducing our new city engineer in Public Works, Mika Subaha. And if I mispronounce that, I apologize. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Mickey? You know, Mickey stood in the back because he realized the further I stand, the longer the applause as I get to the front. You know, it's a common trick by politicians, not typically engineers. Normally engineers are in the front row, you know, we got work to do. Mickey brings 27 years of engineering experience, including as city engineer for the city of Brentwood. Mickey has held leadership and management roles with the Contra Costa Water District, City of Brentwood, City of Napa, and private development companies Shea Homes, Carlson, Barbie, and Gibson Incorporated. Mickey is a licensed professional civil engineer and a land surveyor. He earned his Bachelor of Science degree in civil engineering from the University of California, Davis, and a master's in civil engineering from the University of California, Berkeley. Some fun facts about Mickey: loves traveling and recently visited Japan. His favorite place he's traveled to is the Vatican in Italy. He's married with 2 dogs, 3 sons, and 4 cats. His sons were all born 3 years and 355 days apart. I can't say the same thing. If you get a chance, stop by his office and give him a warm Newark welcome. Mickey, welcome to the city of Newark. Colleen Latier. This is our new communications and public engagement manager. I'm excited to announce the appointment of Ms. Latier. Colleen has started in mid-August and is excited to join the team. She's a dedicated and experienced local government communications professional with more than 12 years of service in public agencies across the Bay Area. Her career spans internal and external communications, media relations, digital strategy, and event management. Colleen earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology from Sonoma State University and holds many leadership, communication strategy, and digital design certificates. Colleen is known for her collaborative leadership style, creative problem solving, and talent for translating complex government processes into clear, inclusive messaging that resonates with diverse communities. She built strategic communications program from the ground up at the cities of Half Moon Bay and Cupertino. She has also developed and led valuable community programs like adult and youth communication academies. She's thrilled to join the city of Newark. Did you write that part?
We did.
Okay. And looks forward to learning more about our community, connecting with staff, and supporting the meaningful work already underway. Colleen deeply believes in the power of public service to build connections and trust, and in the essential role of thoughtful, accessible communication in that effort. A Bay Area native, Colleen was born and raised in Cupertino. Outside of work, she enjoys golfing with friends, reading, exploring local restaurants. She's always open to recommendations and traveling. This year, she visited Italy and recently returned from a trip from Maui. Colleen will join the city staff, has joined the city staff as July 25th. She's doing okay so far? Nice. Okay. An excellent introduction to our community, customer service focus, and how we work with pride to invite for a meet and greet to be posted in the near future. The reason this position is so important to our community, as you hear from residents, all of us hear from our residents, more communication, more transparency, want to know what's going on. The first thing I hear is the mayor or the city manager will hear, I didn't know about that, or what are we doing about that? Colleen is going to be instrumental in making sure that we, the city, do our best to communicate what's going on or why something is occurring in our community. We're excited to have you here, and I welcome you to the city of Newark.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
I just want to say thank you. It's been such an amazing experience so far, and what I've learned from Newark is it's such a special place, and I'm really honored to be able to tell the story. So thank you so much.
So now, Mr. Benoon, we're going to take a 5-minute break. So folks that were here for those commendations and proclamations can go ahead and leave if they would like to do so. So we will reconvene in 5 minutes.
Hydration is key.
That's all right. And as I extend to my colleagues again, you're out and about in the community as much as I am. I certainly implore upon you, folks that you believe deserve recognition for outstanding achievement in any variety around our community. Certainly let the city manager and let me know. We'll see if we can't recognize them at an event here in the future. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a presentation of the Alameda County Water District's 2025 Strategic Plan. Ms. Jackie McLeod is a Special General Manager and will give the presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so appreciative to be here. Good night. Good night. Good night. That's it.
You know, the mayor runs these meetings too long.
So thank you, Mayor, council members, members of the public for the opportunity to present on our 2025 strategic plan update. The agenda for tonight is we're going to talk a little bit about Alameda County Water District. We're going to do a really brief overview of our existing strategic plan priorities. We'll talk about where we are in the update. We'll talk about the progress and what are our next steps and considerations. So who are we? We serve residents and businesses of Fremont, Newark, and Union City. We have about 105 square mile service area, and we serve 348,000 people, so we're a medium-sized water district. We have 600,000 plus service connections in the service territory. We were founded in 1914. We are one of the oldest water districts in California. The main priorities are to protect the Niles Cone groundwater basin and to protect the Alameda Creek. We have a 5-member board of directors, and we have 243 full-time employees. Our board president sends her apologies, but we are running our own board meeting concurrently right now. What are our supply? Where do we have our reliability, and where do we get our drinking water from? 40% of our supply is local. It's from the Alameda Creek watershed. 40% is from State Water Project, and 20% is from San Francisco Public Utilities, so that's Hetch Hetchy water. We're fortunate to have these 3 different sources of water supply, and they allow us flexibility in our water portfolio and how we plan for our water use and optimize costs, and how we can respond to real time to operational challenges. So let's review some of our existing strategic plan and our board priorities for 2025 update. In 2018, our existing plan priorities were cost effectiveness and value, water supply, finance, workforce, and communication. We decided that we needed to get a little input as we were doing our 2025 update, so we did a comprehensive customer survey, I think it was last year, where the customers came back and said they have a high satisfaction with their water district. They want to keep the rates reasonable, which we do as well. They have confidence in our operations, and they felt a need, they wanted more information about emergency preparedness. So as we took in the information from the survey, as well as from our board and our staff, we realized that affordability is an emerging issue that needs to be addressed directly. We need a greater emphasis on groundwater management initiatives, and we need a focus on workplace and employee health and safety that drives many priorities, but not are specifically addressed in our plan. So in 2018, we didn't really highlight that, so we want to update it. We also recognize in an aging workforce, we need to do some workforce development opportunities with our local school districts. We also realize resource loading is important, so we're talking staff is important as well as funding. And we thought we should consider a vision and value statement. So I'm taking us where we are now in 2025 update. We've held 3 different board workshops that were open to the public. We feel that the current plan goals remain appropriate, so we're going to keep with our 5 major goals: cost effectiveness and value, water supply, finance, communication, and workforce. But we felt it was important to establish a new goal that's been approved by our board: emergency preparedness. We also want to incorporate enhanced workforce and staff development, and we developed a vision statement and core values for the district. This was done over those 3 board workshops. We also did an internal engagement with our staff, which we did 2 open houses. We also did a internet web challenge for our initiatives for our staff. So in our June workshop, we had a workshop session on vision, values, and mission, and the board was able to understand internal staff perspective about what statements closely reflected how they felt. In our July workshop, we determined the final vision, values, and mission, and we worked on plan hierarchy and strategic plan elements. So we worked on goals, strategies, tactics, and core metrics. I had ambitious goals for September being adoption, but now we have punted that to November. But here is a preview of what our vision statement is: quality water and thriving community. This has been approved by our board. It has not been adopted yet. We have updated our mission statement to center our customers in our mission. So we're going to provide our customers with reliable, sustainable, high-quality water service at a reasonable price. And our core values are service, safety, trust, resilience, collaboration, and stewardship. And where we are on our strategic plan journey is where you see that big red star. We are supposed to be having our board workshop at the end of this month, but that will be now November 6th, and the public is welcome to join us. We are welcome to any feedback from the public at any time, though. They can email, they can call us. We will welcome anybody's input into the strategic plan. And how can you do that? Well, here are the many ways you can connect with Alameda County Water District. And with that, I am happy to answer any questions or take feedback from the council.
Before I turn to my colleagues here for questions, is there any questions from anybody in the audience regarding the presentation? Colleagues, this is an informational item. Questions, comments? Vice Mayor?
So I just wanted to say thank you so much. And one of the big things is I'm originally from West Texas, which is the desert area. And for those that don't know, it's water is something that we take for granted all of the time until you don't got it. So there are a lot of, I just wanted to let you know, as someone who grew up in it always being and never, not allowed to water your lawns and not allowed to do anything, water is one of those things that really people take for advantage. And the fact that I saw what your goals said and everything you guys said, you guys kind of have it going on. And it's going pretty smooth and stuff like that. So I really appreciate being able to turn on my faucet and have clean water. I appreciate not having to put special stuff to clean up my showers, and I appreciate not being hard. And I really appreciate, and you guys are people that people don't realize what happens until there's an emergency or something. So I also appreciate you guys taking an initiative to work on your emergency preparation. Mm-hmm. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, it's the quiet heroes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Councilmember Jorgens.
Yes, I also want to say I appreciate you coming to give the presentation for the work that ACWD does. You know, and my colleague says in emergency, you're one of the first government agencies that people will realize isn't working. So I do appreciate all the work specifically around emergency preparedness. And then want to thank you for all of the public outreach that you did in this to make sure that the voices of residents here in Newark and then also in Fremont Union City are heard in this process. So do really appreciate that aspect of it.
Yes, Councilmember Contancio.
Yes, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Is it correct that you were founded in 1914?
Correct.
Wow, so that sounds like it's about 111 years or so?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's wonderful, and I'm really glad and excited that you're also adding the emergency preparedness. And then once you have additional workshops, is there ways for the community to continue to access the information if for some reason they were not able to attend?
Yeah, so we have virtual meetings over Zoom, so they can always log in straight from their home, as well as go on our website. And again, call us. We're happy to meet with people individually. They can come into our district office on Grimmer as well. So we welcome the public's input anytime.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
For those residents that are here in the audience or watching, ACWD has been very busy around the city of Newark doing a lot of infrastructure work. And I know there's been some concern about, the quality of our streets, but before you start spending millions of dollars to put in a new street, you need to make sure you take care of the underground infrastructure, and they're doing a fabulous job. So bear with it for the time being, but you're gonna have some beautiful streets around the city once that work's been done. And please extend our appreciation to all the folks that work really hard every day to make sure that the pipes and the systems that we have in our city do the work that needs to be done.
I will. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now at a section of the council where this is an opportunity for the public to make comments on any item that's not on the agenda this evening. Is there anybody that would like to speak to the council regarding any item not on the agenda? Yes, please come forward.
Hello.
Good evening.
My name is Phil Bloxham. I live on Cedar Boulevard, and I'm here on behalf of the residents who are deeply concerned about the growing dangers of Cedar Boulevard. We face daily problems with speeding, reckless driving, red light running, and collisions with parked cars. On August 31st, just outside of my house, a car crashed into a home. It didn't just destroy a home, it also destroyed the sense of security that a family will ever have. At the same time, one of the other car that was involved in the crash was engulfed in flames. And if it wasn't for the quick actions of one of the neighbors who pulled the person out of the car right before it caught on flames, the person would have been burnt alive. This is a pattern that has been going on. Although this was a bigger than a worse than usual accident, it is just common to have accidents on Cedar Boulevard all the time. What we're requesting are methods to slow cars down, reduce crashes, and protect pedestrians and the bicyclists. What we would like is permanent radar signs put up, increased police presence, which I've seen has lately been there, but we would like it permanently out there. Edge line striping on the road, and tree trimming. Because on Lafayette and Cedar, that intersection, if you're going from Newark Boulevard down to Thornton, the stoplight is actually completely blocked by a tree branch coming out. The things that are being suggested are actually have been done by other cities in the Bay Area. Fremont decreased their major crashes by 45% with their Vision Zero program. San Jose reduced their corridor speeds by 10 to 15 miles per hour. And Hayward reduced their red light violations by 40% by installing cameras. And if anybody else would like to say anything.
Phil, is the individual here that saved that life, are they here with you tonight, Phil?
No, they're not.
No, he's not.
No.
Okay, please, on our behalf, please extend our appreciation to that citizen. It takes great bravery to expose yourself to significant dangers yourself, but recognize at the end of the day that I might be saving a life. And whether that was the person that was causing the situation or not, it doesn't matter. The fact that we save a life is really what matters at the end of the day. So on our behalf, if I may speak for my colleagues, please make sure you thank that citizen on our behalf, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Gabriel Anguiano Jr., I'm also a resident for about 24 years. I live off of Cedar, 3/4 of a mile away from Newark Days, where it happens. It's transited, very busy boulevard, like Newark Boulevard, Thornton, we have Paseo Padre. So we have huge, cut-throughs that a lot of traffic goes through there, and we have to make sure that we're keeping Newark safe. As a resident, what really led me to live in Newark was Newark Days. And as Miss Janine, Nick, Lauren, and the other young lady, they emphasize the importance of that it's a special place. We want to make sure we continue to have that, Newark being a special, safe place. With the school board members, we are also working with Safe Routes to School to motivate, raise awareness, and also just educate our families, our students, and to keep them safe. A couple of miles, we have a lot of crosswalks. Within a 2-mile radius, we have 5 to 6 schools, not counting the daycare centers. And that's the thing that we have to make sure that we're keeping our streets free and just clear of danger. So really appreciate the time to the executive team, council members, Mayor Hannon, also Vice Mayor Little. Thank you for the time, and also the community, the residents are here today. We have to make sure that we voice our opinions and also take charge and take our streets back. Thank you.
And Phil, don't be bothered by the time. You have a lot of speakers, so if other folks want to speak, feel free to step up.
Sure. My name is Carlos Perez, and I actually live across the street from the house that the car went into. And from personal experience as well, like my wife's gotten hit pulling out of our driveway because, I look at least 10 times, to the left and right. But as soon as you start backing out, someone's whipping around the right turn. They don't slow down. What they try to do is, go into the oncoming lane to get around you. And so, yeah, anything that could be done to, slow that traffic down would be appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Sushil, and I moved here like 5 years back. And on Cedar, I have seen maybe like more than 6-7 accidents. And 2 or 3 years back, one was fatal. A guy, he was on a motorbike and he has got killed right in front of my eyes. So I think people speed there a lot. So we have to do something, maybe like as Phil said, speed cameras or something should be done basically to reduce people not speeding up on those roads. Thank you.
My name is Elias Martinez, and yes, I do live on Cedar. I have been a resident since '88, and I personally have experienced several accidents with my personal vehicles in front of my house. And yes, I also witnessed the death in front of my house, which is right in the cross corner of DuPont. And as he mentioned, I did not witness it, but I am aware that, yes, something needs to be done on Cedar Boulevard. I mean, be that as it may, okay, something needs to be done, whether it be more surveillance, more cameras. Something needs to be done.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Eve, for the earrings.
You're welcome.
Well, this is my first time here, and this is kind of exciting because that's good that you guys listening to our concern. I also live in Cedar Boulevard. I've been there. We've been there for like 18 years, but I just want to share a little bit that the first year that I moved in there, it wasn't very pleasant. I was discriminated in the beginning, and I just have to share that because 6 months after I moved in, I found a dead fish in front of my parking lot, and then 2 weeks later, I found a dead bird in my parking lot. And they're just trying to tell me that at that point, at that moment, it wasn't diverse at that time. And it didn't scare me because this city is for everyone, not just for one race, for all race. And so I'm glad to see the diversity of this city now. And I really appreciate it. But I have the same concern of these people here, this man here, because the Cedar Boulevard, it is a busy street. And I just want to recommend that maybe we put a white paint on the divider because that's where the accident all the time and people turn. Or I do notice that at night when I drive coming from Newark Boulevard, it's kind of dark a little bit. And that's where the accident all the time. Maybe we put white paint, maybe people can see it in front because it curves a little bit, so that might give them a better sight. And also, yeah, they did try to put a meter on the street, right? But unfortunately, it didn't really help. People still driving fast. So, yeah, because remember they have, they're only 35, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know, that's the only solution that I can think of. Maybe we could, or maybe have it blessed. Maybe there's a lot of evil stuff from there. That's what my mom always say. Have a priest bless that place or something. Take come out of the deep. So, yeah, that's the only solution that I can think of. But thank you for listening, you guys. And you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, as this is the public comment section of our meeting, we're not able to discuss this issue. Our city manager certainly heard your comments loud and clear. I know our police chief is here as well. I don't know, Mr. Benoon, do we want to schedule some kind of a meeting with the community, maybe in the near future, to talk about some of our strategies as they may involve this section? I'll certainly leave that up to you.
Yeah, I would encourage the residents who spoke here this evening to meet our Public Works Director and our city engineer out in the lobby. Those are the two gentlemen over there. They'd be happy to discuss whatever potential solutions there are to the issue.
I would also like to say, like, we invite you, like, after the meeting, come drive down Cedar Boulevard, see what it is, and look at it, and see ask yourself, do you find it acceptable?
Yeah. But please do during the busy times. I have seen police monitoring it, but for some reason, it is in non-busy areas. And I have seen people that have gone well over 50 miles an hour running across. Well over 50 miles an hour, okay, on a 35 mile an hour zone. Now, before my house, going north, there's supposed to be a sign there that says, reduce your speed for 30 miles an hour, because it is a curve, okay? They don't respect it. They do not respect it. I have seen people going 50 plus. They do speed, okay?
Well, I appreciate, again, you coming tonight. I got to tell you, on behalf of the council, we hear you loud and clear. And my expectation, as the city manager has demonstrated, is that we will work with the community, because we pride ourselves on having a safe community where people not only are safe, but feel safe. And listening to your comments, I certainly get the impression you're not feeling safe, the community's not feeling safe, and it's our responsibility as a council to make sure that we listen and we address those concerns. And I'm confident in our city manager that we'll get some work done to make sure we address this issue. So again, thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak under the public comment section? I'm sorry, right in front of me. Yes, ma'am, please.
No.
Yes.
You just play.
My name is Steve Marinucci. I live on Robertson Avenue, and I wrote to you, several of you, a few months ago about the need for restrooms at the lake. That's something I really think that need to be done over there. It's a beautiful area, and we would like to. It should be kept clean, and I can't understand. I haven't been living here that long, actually. I mean, I've been living here 40 years. My wife has been here since she was a child, and she can't understand why that never was instituted at the lake. So I would really like to, try to see if we could get something done on that. I think it's really necessary. Lake Elizabeth has restrooms. I mean, it's a much bigger area, but I believe the lake is the largest open area in the city. Is that correct?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and it does not have restrooms. Yeah. And I mean, it's my favorite walking area. I walk there all the time, and I would really, it would really be nice to have restrooms there. One other thing I wanted to say, just really quickly, I had alerted the city about an overgrown bush at the corner of Robertson and Cherry, and the city came out and cleaned it up, and they took it down. And I just wanted to express my thanks about that. But again, if we could really get something done about the restrooms, I would really appreciate it. And I think, those of us that walk in that area would do the same.
Well, I appreciate your comments. Not only is public comment an opportunity to talk to the city about things that you think as a community we should be focusing some attention on, but I appreciate you coming to say, what, I also, advise the city about this overgrown situation, and they took care of it. Sometimes we don't always hear, Mr. Benoon, the thanks that the community has for the
I got
things
a
we do.
phone call back the next day from the city
Outstanding.
telling me that it was done, and I said, oh, I noticed it already. I mean, I drove by there and I turned my head really quickly and I went, oh my God, they did it.
Excellent.
So I was really appreciative of that.
Mr. Benoon, comments regarding the restroom situation?
Sure. If the speaker could please provide your name and contact information to our city clerk, that would be helpful.
Over there.
We do have a planned process for developing park amenities. It's a capital improvement plan. We do have a parks master plan that was approved by the city council last year. And as soon as potentially as 2 weeks, the city council will consider funding some of those park improvements. But if you leave your name and contact information with the city clerk, we'd be happy to notify you when that meeting will occur. But coincidentally enough, it may happen as early as 2 weeks. If not in 2 weeks, then later this fall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just again, a reminder to the community, when we did our first Parks Master Plan, something this council is very proud of, it was the community that identified the priorities for the city. We built a skateboard park, we did the turfs over at the sports field, and we did a dog park. Those were the 3 items that the community identified as priorities. So if there's priorities that the community have, when this item comes before the city council, I encourage you to talk to your neighbors. If you think there's something we should prioritize in the way of parks or park amenities, come to the council, because your voice matters, okay? Anybody else under public comment section? Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment section, and as I mentioned, colleagues, I'm going to go ahead and move to item H2. I'm asking the council to adopt a resolution confirming my appointment to the Community Development Advisory Committee. I put forth the name of Mr. Jason Miguel, longtime resident of the city of Newark, and I would ask for a motion and a second to approve that. Motion by the Vice Mayor.
Second.
By Councilmember Contancio. All those in favor, please vote. Oh, shoot. Jason, I'll tell you this later. I inadvertently hit the no button. I changed it, though. And that, of course, passes unanimously.
Still would have gone 4-1.
It would have gone 4-1. Jason Miguel, congratulations on your appointment. Thank you for that, colleagues. Now I'm going to return to the agenda, and I'm going to go to the consent calendar. Consent calendar following the approval of audited demands, approval of the July 2024-2025 minutes, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the annual CDBG agreement with Alameda County for fiscal year 25-26 and approving a budget appropriation, notification of the city engineer's pending decision on the final map and subdivision improvements agreement for track 8665 Cedar Townhouses, Taylor Morrison of California LLC, 38600 Cedar Boulevard, and report on administrative actions during the August recess. City Manager, any item you want to be pulled?
Not this evening, Your Honor.
Folks, is there anybody in the audience that would like to have any one of those items pulled from the consent calendar for additional information or clarification? Colleagues, any items pulled from the consent calendar?
No.
Okay, so I will look for approval of the consent calendar. Can I get a motion in a second? By Councilmember Grindal, seconded by Councilmember Jorgens. Please vote. And the consent calendar is unanimously 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, the next item on the agenda is a public hearing to consider a call for review of the Community Development Director's approval of a minor use permit MUP 2025-21 for Maka Swag Dance, an instructional dance studio at 2086 New Park Mall, Unit 1093, APN 901-111-25, and consider adopting a resolution affirming the Community Development Director's action, or in the alternative, consider adopting a resolution overturning the Community Development Director's action. I'll turn it over to the City Manager to begin.
Yes, good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. This is a public hearing to consider approving a minor use permit that staff issued back in July. This permit, if approved, would allow an instructional dance studio to operate inside New Park Mall. The city's zoning code considers this as an instructional services use, and since the proposed location is inside a commercial district, a minor use permit would be required. After the Community Development Director approved the permit, notification was then provided to the Planning Commission and to the City Council. Councilmember Grandal asked that this item be reviewed by the council. Per the city's zoning ordinance, the council essentially has three options to consider this evening. First, the council can affirm staff's decision to allow the use in its entirety. The second option would be for the council to affirm staff's decision subject to certain modifications the council would like to make. And the third option is that the council can reject staff's finding, which would essentially result in the prohibition of the studio from operating. Resolutions have been prepared for all of those scenarios. Tonight, we have a staff presentation from Ms. Yvonne Nguyen. She's our assistant planner. She's going to recommend that the council approve the use as presented. And of course, per usual, we recommend that after the staff report is provided, opened, the council receive testimony from the public, including the applicant, and then the council should deliberate. With that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to our assistant planner, Ms. Yvonne Nguyen. Ms. Nguyen?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. My name is Yvonne Nguyen. I'm the assistant planner. This is a hearing to consider a call for review of the Community Development Director's decision approving Much Swag Dance, an instructional dance studio at 2086 New Park Mall, Unit 1093. Additionally, this is a hearing to consider a resolution affirming the director's action and a resolution overturning the director's action. The project includes a minor use permit to allow for an instructional service establishment. The applicant is Renuka Raj, and the property owner is New Park Mall LP. For my presentation tonight, I will cover the following topics: summary of events, call for review, I'll go over project background and overview, I'll discuss the California Environmental Quality Act exemption, fiscal impacts, findings of fact, staff recommendations, and I'll end with questions for if you have any. Okay. The applicant, Renuka Raj, submitted an application for a minor use permit to allow for the operation of Matcha Swag Dance, an instructional dance studio at 2086 New Park Mall, Unit 1093. Under Newark Municipal Code, Section 17.08.020, the use is classified as instructional services and requires the approval of a minor use permit from the Community Development Director. On July 22, 2025, the director approved the project based upon the required findings and subject the project to conditions of approval detailed in the notice of action, which can be found in attachment 1 of the staff report. A notice of action describing the director's decision was distributed to the applicant, members of the City Council, and the Planning Commission. The notice of action included procedures for a call for review of the decision. The procedure allows for a member of the City Council to submit a call for review of the decision made by the Community Development Director. Staff did receive a request for a review of the director's decision to approve the minor use permit. The zoning code outlines procedures to follow in addressing a call for review, which includes scheduling the project as a public hearing item at the next available meeting of the body that called for review. In this case, it was the City Council, and then processing it in the same manner as an appeal. Such call for review shall not require any statement of reasons and shall not represent opposition to or support of decision, application, or appeal. Moving on to the overview of the project. The applicant is Renuka Raj from Matcha Swag Dance. The project is located inside New Park Mall at 2086 New Park Mall Suite number 1093. The property owner is New Park Mall LP, and the requested entitlement includes a minor use permit. The proposed use would offer instructional dancing centered on a variety of traditional and modern Indian dance styles. The dance studio would operate Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The site is zoned RC, Regional Commercial, with a New Park Place Specific Plan Overlay District and has a general plan designation of Regional Commercial. The site consists of New Park Mall, which holds a variety of commercial uses such as department stores, restaurants, entertainment venues, and other similar uses. Classes would be held during weeknights and weekends with a maximum of 3 one-hour sessions per day. Each class would be led by 2 instructors and serve between 5 to 15 students per session. The applicant proposes minimal interior alterations, which include the installation of 6 wall-mounted clean glass mirrors. The only equipment associated with the proposed use consists of portable speakers used for music during playback during instruction. The project is expected to generate minimal vehicle traffic and noise impacts. In a 2021 parking master subplan study prepared with the New Park Place Specific Plan revisions in 2021 found that New Park Mall provides a total of 7,499 existing parking spaces. Based on the specific plan's parking requirements, approximately 5,607 spaces are needed to accommodate the existing land uses, leaving a surplus of 1,892 parking stalls. Students and employees would be expected to park in the areas shown in yellow. Given the mall's excess parking supplies, small class size, and off-peak business hours, the project would not impact parking and circulation. The proposed use is subject to the applicable provisions of Title 17 zoning, including maintaining the minimum 300-foot separation between 2 instructional services set forth in Newark Municipal Code Section 17.08.020. The code defines instructional service as establishments that offer specialized programs in personal growth and development, such as music, martial arts, vocal fitness, and dancing instruction. Given that there are no instructional services nearby, the closest instructional service use from Matcha Swag Dance is Aero Dance, a dance school located approximately 1,436 feet away. The project is categorically exempt from CEQA pursuant to the mentioned CEQA guideline in the staff report and on this slide. The proposed use will not materially impact the city's tax revenue, nor will it additionally strain city services. Activating the proposed vacant space with the dance studio may increase foot traffic and customer visits to the mall, resulting in additional customers for all tenants. But ultimately, the project would not have substantial fiscal impact on the city. Overall, the project complies with applicable provisions of the zoning code and would be complementary to the site and existing commercial uses. The project will be consistent with many of Newark's general plan policies, including Land Use Policies 4.4, which aims to modernize the greater New Park area to create a vibrant regional retail location that provides urban amenities and gathering spaces, as well as policy Land Use Policy 9.1, which aims to diversify the mix of uses in New Park Mall vicinity to sustain and expand its role as a premier shopping and entertainment destination in the southern Alameda County. Based on staff's analysis and the determination from the Community Development Director, the minor use permit findings for the project can be made in the affirmative. With that said, the staff recommends that City Council consider one of the following items. Affirm the director's decision to approve the minor use permit without any modifications to the project approvals. Number 2, affirm the director's decision to approve the minor use permit with changes to the project, the required findings of fact, and/or the conditions of approval. Or number 3, reject the director's decision, thereby denying the project based on an inability to make the necessary findings for approval. Staff recommends that the City Council affirm the director's decision without any modifications to the project approvals. If the city seeks to overturn the Community Development Director's decision, staff has provided a draft resolution outlined in Attachment 5. The draft resolution includes a space for the City Council to identify where it was unable to make the necessary findings to approve the project. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions. The project applicants are also here and available to answer any questions, and they do have a presentation for you as well. Thank you.
Great. Before I turn to the applicant, are there any clarifying questions that we have for staff based on the presentation? Yes, Mr. Councilmember Grindal.
Yes. So does the mall have a completed or shared with you a retail plan that shows the right mix of retail, residential, restaurant services? Is there any documentation of what the appropriate amount is, and have we seen that?
I'm going to invite our Community Development Director, Mr. Stephen Turner, to provide a response to that question. Mr. Turner?
Also, before we do that, the City Manager, I'm going to caution my colleagues that the issue before us is a minor use permit for an Indian dance studio. That's really the issue that we're here to discuss. What the vision for the mall and the use of the mall is certainly important to this community and certainly important to this council, but the issue before us today is whether or not to affirm, modify, or reject the minor use permit for an Indian dance studio. So, Mr. Grindal, I would ask that you focus your questions on the minor use permit application that's before the council.
Yes, well, I'm referring to the land use findings of land use 9.1 that discuss this appropriate mix of uses.
Great, thank you. Stephen Turner, Community Development Director. As the council knows, the area is governed by the new Park Place specific plan, and this was a plan that was recently revised in 2021 to accommodate the new residential land uses that were being proposed to the site. As described within the specific plan, there is a requirement for a retail subplan, as referenced by Yvonne earlier. The retail subplan was reviewed as part of the revisions for the revised new Park Place specific plan. It was really intended to accommodate revised and new retail as part of the residential development. And in that retail plan, there was an analysis of the types of retail and commercial uses that could be expected at the mall over time. The requirements of the retail plan would be that it would need to be reviewed and revised with each subsequent phase of residential development. As council and the community knows, the first residential development was approved with the revisions of the specific plan, but never built. The applicant applied for permits, but never pulled those permits and never started construction. Since then, economic development staff and planning division staff have been working with the mall management to look at the right mix of retailers and attract new retailers to the community. We also go out to regional and national shopping center events to try to attract new retail to the mall. We have good relationships with the existing mall management, and we're developing new relationships with the property owner's leasing team to be able to coordinate our leasing activities at the mall. We do know that the mall is struggling. We do appreciate when a new business owner wants to locate at a mall in a way that's in conformance with the regulations of the zoning code and the specific plan. In this particular case, the dance studio was found to be consistent with all of those regulations, and findings were made for approval on that. Going forward, we look forward to continuing working with the mall, as well as the owner of the Macy's building that is now vacant, and we're working to re-tenant the Macy's building as well. And also into the future, we are looking forward to initiating an Urban Land Institute Technical Advisory Panel. And this would be a panel of independent experts that would come in and take a look at the mall to provide the City Council with an overview of the type of development that could be anticipated at the mall given current financial circumstances and the financial environment. So even though it feels like that there's not a lot happening at the mall, we're very excited and see a lot of opportunity for the mall and that mall area into the future.
I have one further question.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So this is just a question for when you're looking at a minor use permit, does the property owner's track record and existing lack of response to code enforcement issues figure in? So for example, if you have a property owner like this one that is negligent in their responsibilities in terms of responding to our citations, responding to our response, is that something you can take into account when you're looking at a minor use permit, or are you forced to consider it blindly even though they're not behaving very well?
We look strictly at the findings for approval and see, first of all, can we make the finding, first of all, is the project consistent with the codes and requirements of the plans and the municipal code? And then secondly, can we make the findings for approval? And generally we do. We definitely want to make sure that we're addressing code enforcement issues, particularly that affect life, health, and safety. If those exist at the mall and at the location or anywhere we're considering a permit, we certainly would not move forward until those life, safety, and health conditions are being met. There are a number of code enforcement cases that are happening around in the mall area, particularly with signs and donation boxes. I think in this particular case, we didn't want to hold up the business because it was consistent with the findings and the requirements. So with that, we decided to move forward with approval of the permit.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other clarifying questions? I'm going to go ahead and ask the applicant. I understand you wanted to say a few words. Please come forward.
Can I do that?
Yes.
This one a little later, first after the speech.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can use this, or you can use this, or you can use that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Mayor,
Welcome. Thank you.
Ms. Mayor and Vice Mayor and City Council, City staff, and all our Machaswag family and supporters. I'm Renuka Raj, owner of Machaswag Dance and the applicant of the minor use permit, which we are here for. This is for the studio in Newport Mall. Firstly, I would like to sincerely thank Yuan, Art, and Matthew for helping and guiding us throughout this process. This is our very first time being a first-time business owner. This is all new, and they were all very helpful in guiding and through this minor use permit process. So Eril Vanan and I, we are the founders of Machaswag Dance, and this is an Indian dance company, and we teach Indian style of dance like Bollywood, Kuttu, Bhangra, name it, like Hollywood, Tollywood, everything. It's like all Indian style dance. And we have studios in 7 locations, starting from Sunnyvale, Newark, San Jose, and then Pleasanton, Dublin, San Ramon, and Mountain House. Among all these, Newark is our main studio. It's our hub where all the students from all over the locations, they come there for the practice, for any events or competitions. That's our main, the Newport Mall studio is our main studio for Machaswag Dance. And we have students ages ranging from 3-year-old to almost like 60 plus. So our main motto is like anybody can dance. Like if you have any interest and interest to learn dance, like we are there, like we believe that like anyone can dance and we are there to teach them. I personally believe that dance, like for me especially, like during I had toughest time. During my toughest time, dance was the one that helped me a lot. And not only my physical wellness, it also helped with my mental and emotional wellness. And I strongly believe that it's helping our students as well, as most of our students are working moms who are busy with their everyday errands, running around chores. So I strongly believe that they need this 1 hour of time to come dance for their, not only the physical, as I said, like it's for their mental wellness as well. And for children, like it's actually like a bridge connecting with her heritage. And they not only learn the rhythm of dance, they also learn the value, culture, and our tradition. So we do have other students from other cultures who are very much interested in learning our Indian dance. And we do have special need kids as students, and it's a joy to watch them enjoy the music and dance to it. So just a quick thing to how we rented the studio inside the New Park Mall. Like we started teaching during pandemic, and we used to do classes in the park online, and then like with demand, we started with small group, and with demand for the dance, learning to learn dance. Like parents like encouraged to use their garage, but we felt it was not safe. So we started looking for a studio. So we started renting studio for an hourly basis in and around Fremont and Newark. But that didn't work out. Whenever they needed the studio back, we were kicked out. And in middle of the series, we had to go look for another studio, which was like really bad for us and for our students as well. That's when like we wanted to find a space just for Majaswag dance. That's when we found the space in New Park Mall. As I mentioned, since it's the first time business owner, we didn't know anything about the multi-use permit then. Until early this year, like when we wanted to rent another space from New Park Mall, that's when we approached the management, they asked us to contact the city for the permit. That's when we came to know about all these multi-use permit. As soon as we came to know, we applied for the permit. And with the help of city staff, like we were able to like do everything from our side, like whatever that needs to be done, we have done it. Because we wanted to do everything by the city rules. Like we don't want to do anything against the city rules. We wanted to run it through the city rules. So this studio is very important to us. It's where the community gathers. It's where the parents feel safe, leaving their children to learn dance. And also it's where the family connect with the local businesses. So for many of us, it's actually truly a second home. So we really like need our studio. So we used to perform like we train students, and we have like taken them, like provided the opportunity to perform in many events. We have performed in NBA, we have performed in Oracle Arena event, SAP, and many events actually. This studio is where all the practices and everything happens. Ganesh Utsav was one of those. Like we have been doing all their grand finale for past few years, except for this one that happened last weekend, because we didn't have space to provide the practices for them. So yeah, we really miss our studio, our home actually. So when we heard about the multi-use permit, we submitted it, and we also like stopped conducting classes in it. It's been like 3 months. As soon as we heard that like we are not supposed to conduct the class, we have stopped the classes, and hopefully everything goes well and we can resume the classes over there. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And we do have a quick presentation.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Vice Mayor. Good evening, council member and staffs, everybody. And as Renu mentioned, it was definitely amazing experience working with the city, especially. We have been like talking with other cities also. I would personally say Newark is like best staff. They have it like, name it like, right from math, we just guided like even single process, like how to make everything, and Ivan and yes, Steven. So everyone like guided. So thank you first for us, because as she mentioned, we are like first time business owners, so we don't know what is it. So that actually helped us. So thank you for that. Yeah, as going through all these things, so we have been like close for last 3 months. So in this 3 months, we have been had lot of opportunity to perform. So we have to reject all those opportunity. And also, so we were part of the competition organized by Fremont Fog Festival of Indian Globe, where around 15,000 people gathered there. So in that, we sent 10 team, and we didn't have a studio at the time. So we were doing it in the streets and outside places. So I have all my students, more around few students here. 10 teams participated. Out of all the 10 team won there, and 5 of the team got first place. And second place 1 team, and third place 4 team, right from kids to adults. So here, all my students, they are all here. So they know, And to add it to that point, so we are performing Saturday in Oracle Arena for Badsha. He's a famous singer and actor in India. So we are performing in that. Still didn't have a studio, so we were doing in Lake Elizabeth. So we didn't have an opportunity. So we tried all our possibility to find a studio. Last Saturday, we had first class. We rented a place in Fremont, and we informed them prior that we have a class, but unfortunately they didn't know what is their schedule. So we have around 30 people standing, right from parents to kids. Everybody was standing, and they said they actually literally kicked out at that time. We didn't have an opportunity, and then again we have to do it in a parking place for that 1 hour. Our students, and they supported us whatever we are going through. They understand and they supported us. So that's a phase we have been going for the Newark city to add it and to the mall to add it. So we are bringing a lot of customers to the mall. Let's say in a day, we are bringing around 50 to 60 family people, husband and wife, kids, everybody is coming into the mall. And in a month, we would say in New Park Mall, we are the first or second people bringing more crowd to that mall. So Indian crowd. So because of that, right from shoe companies, dance shoes definitely needed, and clothing for costume, we prefer Macy's or H&M. We prefer, and I Custom is there. So they print a T-shirt. So you can see all the swag dance listed here. So they print. So we give a business for others, and also for costume, we rent from a local people. So we do give a business also from a lot of people. As she mentioned, it was very important for us, and we are performing again in NBA for Warriors game, and also Sacramento Kings we are performing. In Newark, we were the first dance school to perform in the prestigious NBA game, and we have performed in multiple Indian and other diversity events also. So we would personally ask to look at our application. And so this is about it. And also I just want to show a few things. So our Macha Swag dance was followed in 20 countries. You can see the numbers. So 20 countries, and also in the United States, there are 36 states they have been following, looking at our website. This is the data from our website. And also in social media, so we have around so we have Macha Swag Dance Instagram, where we have 48,000 followers, and we have MSD Fam Reels, than 13K followers, and in YouTube we have around 33K followers. So a lot of people enjoy what we do. So personally, our students, they come and say how everybody go through the phase, and when they come to a studio, they feel happiness that 1 hour. So we have achieved a lot, and this was a certificate given by Consulate General of India, San Francisco, for our dance school, performing in all the Indian festival. So this was from Consulate General of India providing this. So I would like to conclude this. Thanking everybody and this all. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Before I open up the public hearing, you've had an opportunity to review the minor use permit. Now, there were a number of conditions in the minor use permit, and city staff talked about those hours of operation, things of that nature. Do you agree to the permit conditions that are listed in the permit itself?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So with that being said, Any questions for the applicants before I open up the public hearing, clarifying questions? Okay, yeah, no, we'll comment later. Okay, go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and open up the public hearing as soon as I clear my, oh, there it is. Is there anybody here, the public hearing is open on this minor use permit, and the council is going to consider whether to approve the director's recommendation, modify the director's recommendation, or reject that recommendation. Anybody in the audience that wants to speak during the public hearing process? I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing process. Thank you for that. First, I want to thank the applicant, staff and city council members. I had the opportunity to visit with these folks yesterday because I wanted to understand the business, and was really impressed with their plan and what they're trying to achieve here in the city. In all my years, colleagues, on the city council, over 10 years, we have never called up a minor use permit for consideration. And as you review the staff report, any member of the council can call up an item, and they certainly have the right to do that. But this item wasn't even reviewed by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission didn't see a reason to pull this item up. If you read the staff report, typically you're going to pull up a minor use permit if you believe as a council or a commission that there might be a significant impact to the community. It could be noise, it could be traffic, it could be the hours of operation, it could be the conditions of approval. So there's a variety of reasons why we, the council or the commission, would want to pull up and review an application. The real important points as I look at it, first of all, the director went through all these findings and found support for every one of them. But the thing I found important is under number C, no interior or exterior improvements to the existing building would be proposed. The types of service the proposed use would offer an instructional dance centered on a variety of traditional and modern Indian dance styles. The use would not be adverse to the public health, safety, or general welfare of the community, nor detrimental to the surrounding properties or improvements. This finding can be made in the affirmative. We have the right as council members to call this item up. But let's keep in mind, this business owner has been operating since July when the director approved the permit. And when they found out that the item was called for review, they stopped. So they've not been operating for the last 3 months. And it's not that they're not paying rent these last 3 months, they're paying rent, but they're not getting the benefit of the use. So who suffers? Our children suffer, our parents suffer, our community suffers. The residual benefit to the community because kids are being active. And before and after the classes, they're having an opportunity to shop in our Newark stores. They're having an opportunity to eat in our restaurants. So we're missing out on all those residual benefits. And as I heard Councilmember Grindal speak to this item, the only two issues that he wanted to comment on was the mall and the mall's inability to develop, encourage tenancy or development of the mall. And I agree with Councilmember Grindal on that issue. I absolutely agree with him. I've been upset with Brookfield Properties for their failures to certainly build the project, the beautiful project that we, this council, approved a number of years ago. But our angst with the mall and Brookfield Properties should not be taken out on a business owner who's simply trying to provide for the community, for their students, and their families. So they've been closed for 90 days. We called it up for review. Councilmember Grindal, you called it up for review. Why don't you advise us, what your other thoughts are on this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I called this up for review because I wanted to highlight the malfeasance that the mall has been going forward. The the mall is in crisis, and I want to bring attention to that problem. However, I have no problems with this use, and in fact, if at the end of the discussion, I would really appreciate the opportunity to move approval of the minor use permit. I called this up because we need to have a discussion. The mall is not business as usual. We have to dramatically improve what's happening at the mall. There are no anchor stores. There's poor security. There's violations of code enforcement, a litany of issues. There are illegal uses that are permitted that they've been notified of. It goes on, and the existing mix of retail and commercial, retail and services is not in balance. However, this sounds like this use is an excellent use, and I will be voting to support it, and would encourage, and I hope I'll have the opportunity to move the approval. I hope that in the future, staff will begin to hold the mall more accountable for their actions, that they'll look carefully at what the actual appropriate mixture of retail, because since that specific plan was approved, there's been dramatic changes in the tendencies at the mall. The major anchors are gone. Lastly, Macy's. And so I would like to see I'd like to see staff take a more careful look to make sure that we develop a good mixture of uses so that we can bring back the vitality to that mall. And that's the reason I called it up. But again, Mr. Mayor, if you wouldn't mind, after all the other council members have spoken, I'd really appreciate the opportunity to move approval of the minor use permit.
Thank you, Councilmember Grindal. Other comments?
Me.
Yes, Councilmember Contancio.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation and everything that you're doing for the community. I also noticed that we have families here in the audience with young children as well. And so I want to say that we really appreciate all of you, including your children and the students, which really are our next generation. And so I will also be voting in favor when we get to that point.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Jorgens.
Yeah, I just want to agree with Councilmember Grindal's point, to a point, except this has been business as usual at the mall. Maybe this is my youth speaking. The mall has been in crisis for most of my memory. So when we look and see businesses that are going to come and bring vitality to the mall, that's something that's really exciting to me, and exciting to see this item come forward.
Thank you, Councilmember. Vice Mayor.
So I just want to say one thing we have to consider about is that this organization is going to do a big significant impact. Number one, they're doing great activities for kids. They're getting them outside, they're exercising, they're doing wonderful things, dancing. Number two, it's bringing families together. So there are some great significant impacts. Not negative at all. I think everything is fantastic. One of the big things we need to talk about is malls are changing. It's no longer what we had back in the 80s and 90s. It's changing. And what we have to do is look at what we want to do for our mall. So I think actually having it as an activities location is a great idea. I think it makes absolute sense, because if you don't evolve and you don't adapt, you die. Just ask Blockbuster Video. So if you don't stay on top of it, I think you guys have a great thing. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. And I'm going to totally support this. This is wonderful. I might even come out and dance. So thank you so much for putting this together. Thank you so much.
I will not be dancing. I'm going to be serious for a moment. I agree with everything Councilmember Grindal said regarding New Park Mall. It's been one of our biggest challenges these last number of years, because if you have not had an opportunity to review the spectacular development that we, the council, approved for New Park Mall, which was going to bring thousands of people to the mall who would be shopping, eating. It was going to revitalize that mall. We were excited about it. I mean, I heard at the time, and I know that they were a little bit exaggerated, but we were thinking kind of a Newark Santana Mall. That's what I was hearing back then, and we were excited about it. But this is not the opportunity to raise our concerns about New Park Mall. I got a young couple that's trying to establish a business in our community, not their first, their seventh, and they consider this their hub for their business model. So the concern that we have about New Park Mall, and I agree with my council colleague on that issue, but this was not the forum to do that. This business has suffered the last 90 days. We heard from the applicant that we weren't able to practice. And we wanted to provide the kids the opportunity to dance at a variety of different functions, but we couldn't do it. They created a safe space at the mall. Like the mall or not, they created a safe space at the mall for the kids and their families who have entrusted them with the responsibility of watching and educating their kids in the artistic form of Indian dance. So this was not the opportunity to voice our concerns about New Park Mall. As the mayor, I apologize for that because you should have been able to operate these last 90 days. City staff did their job in terms of looking at the proposed use, any and all impacts on the community, and found none. Supported your proposal. Our planning commission certainly had the right to pull it up and ask similar questions, make similar comments. They passed. And that's the first line of review for development is our planning commission. In fact, colleagues, I'm going to be asking when the city staff comes forward with zoning updates that we take the minor use permit process out of council review unless the planning commission denies the minor use permit and the applicant wants to appeal it to the city council. In that situation, I think then we can be of value. But as I mentioned, this is the first time in my many years on the council that I've seen a minor use permit called. And a small business trying to provide entertainment and education to our kids suffered the consequences because we wanted to make a point. And the point was not this dance studio. So unless there's any objections, I'm going to ask city staff to make that recommendation on the zoning code. Seeing no objections, I'm looking to Mr. Grindal, who asked for the request to make the motion to support the minor use permit. I'll ask Mr. Grindal to make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to move that the minor use permit for this project be approved with no changes in the conditions.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Please vote. And surprisingly, that passes 5-0. To my colleague, Councilmember Contancio, thank you for recognizing all the parents and the children that are here. Clearly, this is an important activity for you, the families of our Newark community. I want to wish you the best of luck. Open up the doors tomorrow. Folks, they're going to be ready to operate, I imagine, as soon as tomorrow. I look forward to the opportunity for you to come and perform at one of our city events. The Vice Mayor's indicated that she'll dance with you. We're going to hold her to that. And with that, we only have one other item. Mr. City Manager, you want to make a comment? Okay, we're going to take a 2-minute break to allow the room to clear. And I want to take an opportunity to thank the folks that came here tonight. Folks, we're going to resume the city council meeting. Okay.
We're partnering.
Okay.
So that the schools were partnering alongside the schools, which was interesting to me because I've asked for a presentation and on
Yes.
liaison committee
Yes,
on
you
two
have.
separate occasions. And, I've been told that that's not possible. We're honored to give the presentation and bypass all that. Grown act issues aside, I mean.
Did we lose the vice mayor? Okay.
Just let the left hand tell what the right hand's doing, and you can make some progress on some of those things.
So as mentioned, colleagues, I'm probably going to take off the entire month of November, so I'm going to be looking for the vice mayor to run the council meetings in November. I think she did such a fabulous job when I was out of town, so if there's no objection, we'll go ahead and appoint the vice mayor to be. I knew that would get her moving into the city. Are we ready to proceed? Okay. Those last comments, were those part of the record? Well, we have a new communications manager, Mr. Benoon. I imagine she can edit when necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for your patience. The last item is a public hearing as well to introduce by title only an ordinance approving and readopting a military equipment use policy as stated in Chapter 2.50, Military Equipment Use Policy, to Title Number 2, Administration and Personnel of the Newark Municipal Code in compliance with Assembly Bill 481. Mr. Benoon?
Yes, good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. Back in 2021, California adopted a new law that now requires local agencies to hold public hearings to review and approve local law enforcement agencies' policies on use of military equipment, review reports on use of such equipment, and approve funding and acquisition of that equipment. Under the law, the term military equipment includes equipment that does not have to be obtained from the military, and this includes drones, rifles, flash diversionary devices, among others. To be clear, the Newark Police Department does not own or possess or use any equipment that has been used by the military. Tonight, we have a presentation from Acting Lieutenant Yama Hamayun that provides a review of state law and summarizes the military equipment use report. After the report is received, staff recommends that the council open the public hearing, receive testimony from the public, and then take the necessary action as required under state law. With that in mind, I'll pass it over to Acting Lieutenant Yama Hamayun.
Save the best for last. Macho was the only one competing tonight against me. So. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Hannon, distinguished City Council members, City executives, community members, and colleagues. My name is Yama Hamayun, and I have the privilege of serving as an acting lieutenant with the Police Department. I am here this evening to respectfully recommend that the City Council hold a public hearing to introduce an ordinance approving and readopting the military equipment use policy in accordance with Assembly Bill 481. As required by state law, an annual report and formal ordinance approval by the City Council are necessary prior to the acquisition or use of specified police equipment. Before we move into the details of this matter, I'd like to provide a brief overview of today's presentation. I will begin with a historical background on Assembly Bill 481, followed by a review of the sequence of events leading us here today. Next, I will present an overview of the police department's military equipment outline, the responsibilities of the City Council, and conclude with the staff's recommendation. On September 30th, 2021, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 481 into law, establishing new requirements for law enforcement agencies in the acquisition and use of military equipment. Effective January 1st, 2022, the law requires agencies to obtain approval from their governing bodies, such as the City Council, through the adoption of a military equipment use policy by ordinance. A key component of this legislation is to enhance transparency and public oversight in how such equipment is authorized and utilized. The purpose of this timeline is to provide background on the actions taken to date. Following the passage of the new law, a military equipment policy was introduced to the City Council on May 26, 2022, and formally adopted upon a second reading on June 9th, 2022. The policy was then published on the city's official website along with an inventory of equipment. In compliance with Assembly Bill 481, the 2024 Annual Military Equipment Use Report was published on the Police Department's website on August 5th, 2025. This report includes details on equipment usage, associated costs, internal audits, and community feedback. As required, a community engagement meeting was held within 30 days of the publication, providing community members the opportunity to ask questions and view the equipment firsthand during an open session in the police department's training room. I would like to recognize that this year's community engagement meeting was strongly represented by families and youth, reflecting broad and meaningful community participation. So, what exactly is considered military equipment? While Assembly Bill 481 categorizes these items under the term military equipment, many of them have long been used by the police department and by law enforcement in general as standard equipment. The items highlighted on this slide provide an overview of those included in the full published inventory, which is available through policy and annual report. Each item is described in detail, including the quantity owned, associated costs, product description, purpose, governing rules for use, and training requirements. To recap the requirements of Assembly Bill 481 for City Council, upon review of the annual military equipment use report, along with the unchanged Newark Police Department Policy 709, it has been determined that all listed equipment remains both cost-effective and necessary. This policy will continue to undergo annual review to ensure the equipment supports the safety and well-being of our community. Finally, an annual vote by the City Council is required. Staff recommends that the City Council conduct a public hearing, waive the full reading, and introduce an ordinance approving and readopting the military equipment use policy as outlined in Chapter 2.50 of the Newark Municipal Code. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today and look forward to questions or discussion.
Great. Colleagues, before I open up the public hearing, are there any clarifying questions that we have for the acting lieutenant? Councilmember Grindal?
Yes. And maybe you can't answer this, and that's okay. And thank you for the presentation so far. I really appreciate it. Newark is a welcoming city, and we have a policy which is in line with the state policy to not assist federal agencies in terrorizing our citizens and residents. So I just wanted to kind of confirm, or you could let me know that this equipment is also covered by that. It cannot be requisitioned by the federal government or by ICE or any other federal agency. It's under the control of Newark.
If you could rephrase the question, I think I understood it, but I just want to make sure I fully digested what you'd asked.
Sure. Is this equipment, is this equipment protected by our policy not to support immigration enforcement that's happening in our community?
That is a great question, and yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Other questions, comments?
Yes.
Yes, Councilmember Jorgens?
So I was just kind of curious about the word use under the policy. So if another agency was assisting some operation in Newark and they used some of their equipment that, within the city of Newark to assist on a Newark police operation, would that be a use that would end up in the report, or is that because it's another agency's equipment, would that not end up in the report?
That is a great question, and from my understanding, it doesn't suffice for our reporting.
Any other questions before I open the public hearing? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up the public hearing. This is an opportunity for the public to comment, question on this item. Are there any folks that want to have questions regarding this public hearing or comment regarding this public hearing? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and return it to council for any last-minute questions. Councilmember Grindal.
I have a comment. Just that, again, I appreciate your presentation. It's very informative. I just wanted to comment that the title of this legislation, which was written by the state, is really unfortunate. In the equipment that's been demonstrated to this council member, it is the primary focus appears to be on safety of our officers, safety of our community, and so I really think it's you don't have to comment on this, but I think it's a really unfortunate language to be used, kind of inflammatory, and where I see the use that Newark makes of this equipment to be something beneficial to the community. So thank you.
Other questions, comments? I agree with Councilmember Grindal 100%. Many of the items that you described that are identified as military equipment are things that we currently use, and we do so to ensure the safety of our community. And I'm also wanting to commend the police department, Mr. Benoon, for the demonstration of the equipment that we had held over here at the police department. As indicated, we want to be fully transparent with our community. These are the tools that we use every day to make sure that you're safe, you feel safe in the community. Many of this equipment we're never going to use. We're never going to use. But we need to have the capability of calling upon it when the need should arise. It's too late when you have a disaster and wish we had certain equipment that would have diffused or addressed a situation in our community. So it's best to have the equipment. This council supports the police department, and I think as Mr. Grindal was alluding to, whatever equipment you need as we move forward with new technology, certainly we would ask, through the city manager that you bring those requests to us, because if you're able to do your job, we create the community that our residents expect to see every day. So with that being said, I'll look for a motion and a second. Vice Mayor is going to make the motion. Second by Councilmember Grindal. Please vote. And that passes unanimously, 5-0. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your support and leadership.
You're welcome, sir.
Ordinance Council approved adopting military use policy 2.50 military equipment use policy to Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Newark Municipal Code, compliance with Assembly Bill 481.
City manager updates. City managers, you give your updates. Some of our residents may not be aware that we in the city of Newark are flying our flags at half-staff. Could you advise the community why that is as part of your presentation?
Sure. A couple of things. Actually, before we get to that, Your Honor, we do have item F1 on the agenda.
My bad. I'm gonna blame Kathy. Kathy asked me, do you need a lot of notes and this and that? And I said, no, I'm going to be good. And so, Kathy, let's try to do better. I take full responsibility for this. Kathy, I take full responsibility for this. Going to find my office move tomorrow. Under other business, we're going to be adopting a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a consulting services agreement with Social Change Partners LLC, SCP, for the development of a citywide 5-year homeless action plan and approving an amendment of the 2024-2026 biennial budget and capital improvement plan. I apologize, city manager.
It's all right. Good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. Item F1 is a recommendation from city staff for the city to enter into a contract with Social Change Partners LLC, and this is to develop the city's first homelessness action plan. We have a brief presentation from Assistant City Manager Linka Havorka. She's filling in for Recreation and Community Services Director, Mr. Nick Cuevas. He is available online should there be any questions for him. And we also have Reed Connell from Social Change Partners, also available remotely. With that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to Assistant City Manager Havorka.
Thank you, City Manager Benoon. Good evening, Mayor Hannon and City Council members. I'm pleased to provide an update to the Council on the development of Newark's first 5-year homelessness action plan. As City Manager Benoon noted, joining me online is Recreation Community Services Director Nick Cuevas and Reed Connell, the lead on our project and managing partner with Social Change Partners. They're both available for questions, and Mr. Reed will be virtually introduced at the end of the presentation. The purpose of the Homelessness Action Plan includes assessing current resources and identifying gaps in services that support access to safe and stable housing. We expect the plan will strengthen social service networks in our community and better connect services to those experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. It will identify a number of strategies aimed at reducing and preventing homelessness in Newark. The plan will also align with Alameda County's efforts to address our unhoused community, including the current strategic planning process known as Home Together 2030. Recognizing homelessness is not a, Recognizing homelessness is not a Newark-specific issue. The plan will also include outreach and strategies with local and regional partners to best inform and help meet city goals. It supports the city's 2023-2031 housing element and will better position the city to pursue county, state, and federal grant funding to support our goals. Ultimately, this effort strengthens Newark's ability to advance affordable housing and homelessness initiatives in a way that's both practicable and sustainable. Our search for the best partner to assist the city in developing its first 5-year homelessness action plan started with a request for proposals in June. 7 submissions were received and reviewed by a committee comprised of staff from various city departments that regularly meet to address homelessness issues. Interviews were then conducted with the top 4 firms, and tonight staff is recommending that Social Change Partners, LLC, be awarded a contract to develop the city's first homelessness action plan. Social Change Partners submitted the lowest cost proposal. They bring over a decade of expertise in homelessness planning and a proven record of authentic community engagement, including experience in the local Bay Area. The passion for this work and compassion for our unhoused community they demonstrated throughout the selection process made them the clear choice to partner with the city on this effort. If selected, Social Change Partners proposes the following schedule and activities to guide us through the development of the city's homelessness action plan. Phase 1 is assessment and would begin immediately. The consultant team would review background materials, look at capacity and resources, and analyze demographic data. This step would help identify what's working, what isn't, and where new investments may be needed. Stakeholder engagement would begin and continue through spring 2026, overlapping with the assessment phase, so that community voices are included early in the process. The consultant would hold stakeholder interviews and community work sessions. They would also meet with city staff and council in work sessions to ensure broad and inclusive support. The consultant would then use the assessment findings and community input to prepare a draft plan. That plan would go back out for community and stakeholders for review to help refine it. The consultant would then deliver a final plan with clear timelines, measurable goals, and metrics for success with recommended phases so the city can prioritize next steps. Overall, the process is designed to ensure the plan is both data-driven and community-informed. As mentioned earlier, the plan would be designed to align with the Everyone Home Strategic Plan and other Alameda County frameworks, ensuring we incorporate regional strategies already underway and are eligible for potential funding via grants or other benefits to our community. To begin the development of the plan and ensure the city has both the resources and expertise needed to carry out this important project, staff requests authorization for the city manager to execute a consulting services agreement with Social Change Partners LLC in an amount not to exceed $89,850, which also requires a budget amendment to appropriate funding. At this time, I would like to virtually introduce you to Reed Connell, Managing Partner of Social Change Partners, who will lead this effort with the City of Newark. Mr. Connell, are you on the line?
I am, yes. Can you all see me?
Yes.
Hi. Great. Okay. Yeah. So I'm Reed Connell. I am one of the two founders and managing partner of Social Change Partners. We're a firm we've been around for over 10 years now. Although born and raised in Oakland, I started my Alameda County. My first job out of college or out of grad school was running the Alameda County Foster Youth Alliance, which was a kind of a countywide network of nonprofit service providers, all working primarily with young adults and youth transitioning out of public systems. So through that work, I had the privilege of getting to know some in the Newark community in the greater Tri-City area, and really thrilled to now bring a decade of experience and an extraordinary team back to the area to support you all in creating this homelessness action plan. Yeah, and happy to take questions. I mean, I think the highlights really were offered there. You know, what I feel like our firm offers in terms of value add is really we have extraordinary data folks on our staff, but we are really dedicated to authentic community engagement. We have staff with lived experience of homelessness. We're actually, I'm coming to you from up in far northern California, where we're just completing several focus groups with community members who interact with public systems and struggle with a number of challenges, including with homelessness. And I think we distinguish ourselves with the authenticity and also kind of the value add of that community engagement process. We see it as a primary goal of the entire process to help really align stakeholders and re-energize folks around the shared work of supporting the unhoused members of the community and finding solutions to homelessness. So we're thrilled to, at the recommendation, that we be awarded this contract, and are eager to collaborate with you all over the coming months and year.
Thank you, Mr. Connell. That concludes staff report, and Mr. Cuevas, Mr. Connell, and I are available for any questions you may have.
Great. Before I turn it over to my colleagues, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Colleagues, any questions, comments? I have a couple comments. First of all, Mr. Connell, thank you for being here. You know, homelessness is one of those issues that all local governments have been struggling with for many, many decades. My only concern is when we have a community engagement process, I think we understand as a government and as a community what the issues are. And just either your opinion, Mr. Connell, or Assistant City Manager, your opinion, help me understand the reasoning for or the benefit of a community engagement process when, you know, we have real experts here in the room, we have real experts that we're hiring that really understand what the issues are and really where we should be moving as a community to address the issues of homelessness. Could you help me understand, other than, you know, bringing the community in to help them understand, you know, what we're trying to do, which we can certainly do separate from the community engagement process. But I'm worried about the timeline, because it's a long timeline. And, you know, homelessness is one of those issues where people suffer every day. And we as a community, and certainly big thanks to our police department and our fire department who are out there every day engaged with our homeless community, certainly looking to provide them with the benefits of being provided a home or resources, whatever the case may be. But it's an issue we have to deal with every day. And I'm just worried about that long timeline and whether or not, if we were to shorten the community engagement process, can we maybe get to the outcomes a little bit sooner? I'm certainly open to your comments.
Okay. Mr. Connell, would you like to respond?
Well, I would just say that, you know, we stand ready to go. And we have a lot of experience in community engagement. We can quickly and easily structure that engagement in terms of identifying the folks that are most important to speak with, and the forums that they'll, you know, elicit the most authentic contributions from them. And so, yeah, like I say, we're ready to go. The community engagement was the first phase that was, you know, enumerated in the scope of work in the RFP, and so we, in our proposal, you know, kind of reflected that back. But we're more than happy to continue to you know, develop an actual implementation work plan that addresses, you know, the needs and the timeline and the urgency of the issue. So we're happy to work with staff and work with you all to make sure that we, like you say, don't extend the process unnecessarily when there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom already, and as you say, folks and not only unhoused folks but the entire community is continuing to live with the situation as it is. So we're eager to work with you to work out a timeline that addresses all the needs and acts with urgency.
And I'm not going to look to change the timeline. I think the timeline, I'll leave that certainly with your expertise. My thinking is that, you know, with measure, I believe it's measure W, where there is a measure W where there's significant amount of state dollars available. I just want to make sure we're kind of working in parallel with that measure in terms of what are kind of their requirements in terms of putting us in a real favorable position for some of those grant dollars. We certainly can demonstrate that this is an important issue for our community because we've hired a consultant who's very knowledgeable, very expert in this area that's going to help us develop that plan. So I think we're putting the best foot forward, but I just want to make sure that if we can work doing the partnership with the community, at the same time working on the timeline, because we've been working on this issue for years. We know what needs to be done. I'm comfortable with that, and but I'll leave it, Assistant City Manager, to your expertise. And I've had this conversation with the city manager in the past. I want to see the city of Newark take a much more active role. We did a great job with the Cedar Community Gardens with the, you know, the $38 million that we got from the state to provide 125 housing units for folks that were struggling. But I want to see, as many other communities have, where they've looked at excess city property, and are there opportunities for the use of some of that excess city property, maybe to build, you know, what are considered in, you know, many communities, small homes and things of that nature. You know, I'm not looking, you know, we don't need to be hundreds of them, but, you know, can we build 30 of them? Can we build some number and make it where those that have kind of called Newark home, for a better term, you know, can benefit from something like that. So I would put that on our plate for us to, you know, consider as well. But, you know, I'm excited about this. I just, you know, I've been in government so long, and the number of us have, and, you know, I remember when my years in San Jose, when the housing director stood before the city council 25 years ago, and, you know, we're going to solve the homeless problem in 10 years. And it's like, I just, you know, kind of hit my head like, you know, there's nothing wrong with being optimistic in terms of our efforts moving forward. But, you know, some folks that are homeless are never going to want city services and city assistance, and we need to recognize that. But there's vulnerable members of our communities, whether they be single men, single women, children, whatever the case may be, that are living in cars that we may not even know about. Those are the folks that we need to focus on, those folks that really want government help, and let's focus on those folks that are living in the city of Newark. So I have absolutely no problem passing this recommendation with the recommendations provided by staff. I'm not going to alter the timeline. You heard my comments. I think there's some things we can probably do, you know, in conjunction as we move forward. So I'll look for a motion from one of my colleagues.
So moved.
By Councilmember Jorgens, seconded by the Vice Mayor Little. Please vote. Passes Unanimously 5-0.
Thank you much. Look forward to working with you all.
Kathy, I'm just double checking the agenda to make sure. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. It looks like pretty good. City Manager.
Yes, good evening, Your Honor, and members of the council. I have 8 items to announce this evening, and this is what happens when you have an August recess and you are super busy in the fall. Before we get to those 8 items, Mayor, you had asked about the flags being flown at half-staff. They're flown for 2 reasons. Today is September 11th, as a mark of respect for the victims of that tragic incident 24 years ago, and pursuant to our flag policy, we lower the flags every September 11th. And then per presidential order, we're lowering the flags Friday through Sunday in response to the political assassination that occurred yesterday.
Thank you.
As far as 8 events, this will take some time. The first one, CERT Open House. So that is Saturday, September 13th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Newark Senior Center. As a friendly reminder, CERT is our community emergency response team. It's a national initiative designed to train everyday residents to help themselves, their families, and their neighbors in the event of a disaster. This is an open house, so the public gets to meet our instructors. They get to see some skills demonstrations and talk with volunteers about their experiences. Great way to find out about CERT and what it's all about. Second item is that we are engaging in our 2025 citywide slurry seal project. If the council may recall, a couple months ago, council authorized a significant increase in the funds that we typically do allocate towards street slurry. This year's project is roughly 3 times larger than previous slurry seal projects in recent years. This will be a long project. It will begin likely next week on the September 17th, and this will continue through the summer of next year. And of course, like the air balloon rides, it is weather permitting. Work will be performed during regular work hours. There will be significant impacts to our residents. And we will be working on messaging with our community to make sure that they're aware of the restricted parking and traffic controls and those types of measures. We have 80 city street sections that we're working for improvements, and more information can be found on the city's website. And again, we thank our public for their patience as we go through this lovely road exercise. The third thing for this evening, I know we had a significant presentation earlier today, but just as a friendly reminder, yet again, that not this weekend, but next weekend, the city is celebrating its 70th birthday, 70th birthday, Thursday, September 18th through Sunday, September 21st. This is Newark Days. It starts on Thursday night with the $2 carnival rides. Let's just briefly walk through the highlights because we haven't talked about them enough. Saturday morning, we have our parade that starts at 10 a.m. There'll be monster trucks shortly after the parade. That's something new. Sunday, we have the informational fair along with the free hot air balloon ride in the morning, arts and crafts, food, and stage performances throughout the weekend, and then the event concludes Sunday afternoon with the birthday from 4:30 to 5:30. And of course, it occurs at McGregor Playfields, and more information about Newark Days can be found on their website at www.newarkdays.org. Fourth, the Newark Senior Advisory Committee is hosting its quarterly meeting on Thursday, September 18th at the Clark W. Redeker Senior Center on Enterprise Drive. The public is invited to participate. Starts at 9:30, will approximately last an hour. Our guest speaker is our very own Mr. James Scanlon, Environmental Services Manager for the City of Newark. He'll be giving a presentation on what is recyclable and what can go in that recyclable bin. The fifth item is that our preschool and licensed childcare will be holding an open house on Saturday, September 21st at the Newark Days event from 12:30 to 2:30. It's an opportunity for the public to to learn about our preschool program. This is for children ages 3 to 5. Our instructors will lead tours and answer questions for interested families and their children. Sixth event is that we have Silent Splash Movie Night. And the movie is Finding Nemo. This is Friday, September 19th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Silliman Center. Cost us $13. You can register online. And this is an opportunity for inclusive adaptive swim movie night featuring the Disney Pixar film Finding Nemo. So it's a relatively new program, and kudos to our rec department for putting this on. The seventh update is we have a refreshed Newark News. Here it is right here. That is hitting the mailboxes of all residents and businesses in Newark. So almost 20,000 business delivery sites, addresses. This is the new version of the Newark News, refreshed look, hitting mailboxes today. If you haven't seen it today, you should be able to get it tomorrow over the weekend. And then also another communications update. The city is now on Instagram and Nextdoor. Make sure to follow us on City of Newark, CA. That's the handle. And then eighth, certainly last but not least, we have the Haywired Earthquake Scenario Workshops for businesses. This is Monday, September 29th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday, September 30th from 8:30 a.m. to noon. This is an opportunity for the public to learn about all of our workshops on post-earthquake supply chain management and strategies to secure buildings, equipment, and help reduce financial loss should there be an earthquake. This is part of our Plan, Prepare, Response, and Recover program that the city's been implementing for the past several years. This aims to strengthen business resiliency and support faster recovery with minimal disruptions. The location for this event is at Ohlone College campus in Newark. And all of these events, for more information, the public is more than welcome to visit the City of Newark website at newarkca.gov. That concludes City Manager updates this evening.
Excellent. Thank you, City Manager. Colleagues, it's our opportunity to comment. I'm going to start with Councilmember Contancio.
Yes, thank you. I do want to acknowledge my appreciation for our flags hanging at half-staff for the two issues that were mentioned. I also do recall that I was a student during the time that 9/11 had occurred. And so today, as a teacher and an educator, I was also able to educate my classroom of 10-year-olds that I have this year about the situation that happened at 9/11. So it's always important for us to continue carrying on and acknowledging our history as well. So I appreciate that Newark's doing that with the flags. I wanted to also mention that during our time of recess, I was able to participate with Newark's Relay for Life. I also was able to go and walk in the Pride Parade with Assemblymember Alex Lee. And I represented Newark during the Teamsters annual meeting for Northern California. I also went to two multicultural events. One was held in Union City, and I represented Newark, as well as another one that was held here in Newark at our Ohlone extension. Additionally, next week, I'm going to be representing Newark as a board member for Ava Energy, and we have our meeting next week. Then I'll report on that when I get back from it. And I just wanted to state that I had a wonderful time at our Chamber of Commerce mixer. And so it was really great to meet different local owners within Newark for small businesses as well. And so just a reminder to shop Newark.
Councilmember Jorgens.
Yes, thank you. I appreciated the public commenters coming earlier talking about road safety. As someone who cycles quite a bit on that section of Cedar, I would like to second a lot of things that they said. I'd also like to just highlight, they noted the issue with that stretch of road that doesn't have paint between the lanes. And there's a lot of similar factors between the stretch of Cedar they were talking about and Newark Boulevard as well. So I trust staff will follow up and find some solutions there. And then I would hope that, we can transfer some of those solutions over to Newark Boulevard as well. Because I think we'll find whatever we can find that works on Cedar will work on Newark Boulevard. Because there's a lot of similar situations where between the lanes, it's just the plastic rather than the painted lines. You got cars parked, residential homes on kind of a major street. So there's a lot of similarities there. So probably similar safety concerns. So hopefully we find something that works and they can transfer it over as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we are starting our restriping process. I can provide more information to the council at a later date.
Terrific. And then also very excited about Newark Days coming up. Newark Days is, it's remarkable that it is a all volunteer effort for the scale and scope of what it is able to do and celebrate our city. That, that is something that's put on entirely by volunteers. And, it speaks a lot to Shirley Sisk and what she was able to get started in the 70s to bring together a team of volunteers to be able to do that, that's, is still putting on a great celebration of Newark today. So that.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Grindal.
Sorry. Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'm going to be holding a town hall meeting on Tuesday, September 30th. I got some requests from folks on next door to do a weekday one. So this is going to be at the library at 6:30. Again, Tuesday, September 30th, and there will be pizza, including veggie pizza. So if anyone who wants to come out, please do. I had the opportunity today to attend the Blue Mass that was put on by St. Edward's Church. This Mass recognizes the heroes and the victims of September 11, 2001. So I really want to thank the St. Edward's Church for hosting that important celebration. Celebration is not the right word. Commemoration. And just hope everyone has a great and safe birthday party for Newark Days. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Little.
I just want to thank everybody again. There was a lot of information. I very much appreciate everything. As for Newark Days, I will be volunteering all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and half a day Sunday. So if anybody needs me, I will be at the parking lot at the First Presbyterian Church. If anyone wants to swing by and say hi and park your car with me, you're welcome to. Also, secondly, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. We had the Aces for Athletes for the Tri-City Athletic Center. It was a big fundraiser that we did, the charity poker tournament. It was a huge, huge success. And I got to sit at the same poker table with Mayor Mike Hannon, and he is not a bad player. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. We did have a deaf player that was sitting next to him, and he didn't know, and he kept trying to talk to him, and I was like, he's deaf. And he said, I'm going to beat you. But we had a really good time. It was wonderful, and we raised $4,200 that evening in one event in 4-hour time slot. And all of that came from poker players in the area. And for Tri-City Athletic Center, it's a small little nonprofit. It made a really big deal on that. So, and then last but not least, my big event that I'm organizing on 10/4 is called Heroes in the Community. The purpose of it is to shine the light on our fire department, of course, our police department, of course, but also Public Works. And a lot of other people who do amazing, incredible things. Also, we have our recreation and community services. They're amazing what they do. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. And of course, the VIP of the day, the Alameda County Mosquito Abatement Program, will be out as well. So they are heroes in my world. So I have all these events going on, some more things planned in the spring, but focusing on doing more fun things to raise money for kids and doing things for people in our community to get them out.
I appreciate all my council colleagues' comments. I think they were all heartfelt, and I'm going to echo everything that was said. I'm going to adjourn tonight's meeting in memory of those that passed away.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, if I may. We also have item H1 on the agenda tonight.
What? I was going to get to it. I'm not even looking your way, Kathy. It's me. Thank you. Colleagues, we have the opportunity to appoint a delegate alternate to the League of California Cities Annual Conference and Expo. This conference will be scheduled from October 8th through the 10th at Long Beach Convention. This is a major event for all officials and leaders to discuss urban development, innovation, and policy. It is during a council meeting, if I recall correctly. Councilmember Grindal, I believe, has requested the opportunity to represent the city and vote on our behalf at that conference. So with your support, I'd ask that you support me in asking Mr. Grindal to represent our community at this event.
That's in the form of a motion. I'll second it.
Great. My motion.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, you
first,
may.
just to be clear. I don't want to miss a council meeting, so I'm going to be coming back on Thursday in time for the council meeting. So I would miss the opportunity to actually vote although there are no resolutions in favor. So I'm happy to be the official voting member, but just want to be clear that I'm going to be jetting back in time for the council meeting. And so I won't be able to vote for us unless they move that to another time. So thank you for letting me clarify that.
Any chance, Councilman, because I want to be sensitive to your time, any chance you could just simply Zoom in for the council meeting? Is that an opportunity? I'm hearing from my colleagues, yes. If you'd rather Zoom in, certainly.
Well, I like to be here.
Good.
So, and at this moment, there are no resolutions for a vote at the hearing. So if that changes, if there's something important, then perhaps I can flex in that way.
You know, Councilman Grindal knows me too well. He was probably looking for me to appoint him to a variety of commissions and committees in his absence, but that was not going to happen. I
You're
made
right,
the
it's not
motion.
going to happen.
So, no, I appreciate that. It just shows the kind of commitment you have to our city, so I appreciate that. So I made the motion to.
And I appreciate the clarification. My second still stands on the motion. I'm glad that you're going to be at the council meeting as well.
Right. So let's vote on this, please. And that passes unanimously. Thank you, Councilmember Grindal. Folks, this is an opportunity, I think, every year. Our goal would be every council member the opportunity, if you desire, to have the opportunity to attend this event. And I don't know, Mr. Ben-Nun, if there's other events that council members can attend up in Sacramento, things of that nature. So be on the lookout for those. And if you would like to attend those to represent our city, certainly let the city manager know and we'll bring it to the council for that approval. Okay? We did the appointment to the Community Development Advisory Committee. Before I get, I'm going to make my comment before I get to the closed session item. Is that okay? How long has he been doing this? I hope Sheila's not watching. Sheila, if you're watching, I apologize. I take full responsibility for all of these mistakes. In full seriousness, and Councilmember Grindal mentioned that we had the Blue Mass today, and my colleagues have mentioned this as well, is to take the opportunity to recognize all of those public safety officers and citizens, because let's not forget Flight 93, where we had citizens that recognized that their plane was going to be used to harm others in the community, and they took it upon themselves, recognizing really what was in store for them by their actions. And those are just, again, the American spirit that at some point you realize, you know, for the greater good, I need to make that ultimate sacrifice. Our police department, our fire department just do that every day. But it's truly heroes, and we heard about the hero tonight that saved a citizen from a burning car. How many of us might have stood back thinking, you know, I don't want to subject myself to possible danger and harm to myself and my family. But sometimes, you know, as individuals, we take actions necessary to protect and preserve others, certainly exposing ourselves, and all those folks that perished and still perish today. We have public safety officers that are succumbing to various illnesses as a result of their activity that day. You know, we just need to take a moment and reflect that that's what makes our country so great, when people recognize that I'm going to put my life on the line to protect and preserve the life of others. And you mentioned Mr. Kirk, and whether you agree with him, disagreed with him, doesn't matter. You know, we've come to a point in our country where we need to get back and have conversation. I wrote a report, and I told this to Mr. Ben-Nun years ago, about Mario Savio back in the days of the 68, 69 situation in Berkeley, where, you know, you could have differing viewpoints and you could engage, you could disagree. I mean, this is during the Vietnam conflict, and there was a lot of disagreement. And it was based on words. It wasn't based on anything other than that. It's okay to disagree. Our First Amendment is freedom of speech, and we want to preserve and protect that for all people in this country. So I thank you for honoring the President's request, and as we've demonstrated here, we can disagree with each other, but we go on and we do the business that's important to our community, and disagreements are okay to have, because we each are entitled to an opinion. We're each entitled to present an opinion that may be contrary to their colleague. But at the end of the day, we respect each other, and we welcome those disagreements because it's what makes government work. And we demonstrate that here every 2 weeks. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and adjourn temporarily to closed session. Conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, National Opioid Settlement in Purdue Pharma LP et al. Versus United States Bankruptcy Court, Southern District of New York, case number 19-23649, RDD, bankruptcy. In regards to the National Prescription Opioid Litigation, United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio, MDL number 2804, case number 17-MD-2804, class action, reference number CL1732268. With that being said, we're going to also look at number 2, the National Opioid Settlement, Alvogen, Anil, Apotex, Hikma, Individor, Mylan, Sun, Zydus, USDC, Northern District of Ohio, MDL number 2804, reference number CL1761660. We will adjourn to closed session to consider those settlements.
Can you read all the names again?
Yes. I almost did turn the page.
That was actually really impressive. I was